The spreadsheet numbers glowed on my laptop screen at 2:30 in the morning, reflecting in my tired eyes. 6 months of work, countless late nights, and a supply chain optimization project that would save our company 15% in operational costs, roughly $2.8 million annually. I hit send on the final report to Sandra Walsh, my boss, then closed the laptop with a satisfying click. Despite the exhaustion, I felt proud. This project would change how we did business. My name is Garrett Morrison. I'm 53 and I've been grinding through corporate America for 25 years, ever since I hung up my Army uniform and traded military discipline for boardroom politics. I thought I understood how things worked. I was wrong. 2 days later, I'm walking past the glass-walled conference room when I spot Sandra presenting my slides to the executive team. She hadn't mentioned she'd be sharing my work today. Curious, I paused by the door, just out of sight. That's why I developed this 3-tiered supply chain approach, Sandra was saying, gesturing to a graph I'd created at 1 a.m. 3 weeks ago. My optimization strategy focuses on identifying bottlenecks before they impact production flow. My strategy, not our strategy. My strategy. The room erupted in applause. Our CEO, Howard Pierce, stood up. Sandra, this is brilliant work, exactly why you're heading to the executive summit next week in Denver. You deserve to showcase this to the board. My chest tightened. Executive summit. I hadn't heard about any summit. The whole leadership team's excited, Sandra replied, beaming. Strategic planning sessions, investor presentations, networking dinners. Howard nodded. Best part of running this company is rewarding excellence. Everyone who contributed to our success this quarter will be there. I walked away before anyone noticed me, my face burning. If everyone who contributed was invited, where was my invitation? The answer came that afternoon in a carefully worded email from Sandra. Due to unfortunate budget constraints, we've had to reduce the Denver Summit attendee list. While your contributions are valued, we can only bring department heads this year. Budget constraints. For a company that had just posted record quarterly profits. For a department where my project alone would save $2.8 million annually. I typed a polite acknowledgement, my hands trembling with anger. That might have been the end of it, except Justin Reed, our socially awkward IT director, accidentally included me in a forwarded email thread about summit logistics. Scrolling through the exchange, I found the real reason for my exclusion. From our CFO, Amanda Foster. Do we really need him there? He'll just challenge everything like last time. Sandra's reply. Agreed. Let's blame budget cuts. Besides, my presentation using his research will go smoother without his interruptions. Howard had chimed in. Good call. He's brilliant but difficult. We need team players, not questioners. I stared at those words until they blurred. Brilliant but difficult. Questioner, not a team player. These were the people I'd missed my grandson's graduation for, working through the weekend to meet their impossible deadline. The team I'd believed in for 25 years. Looking back, I should have seen the signs. Sandra had always been subtle about taking credit, adding her name to project emails, speaking first in meetings about initiatives I'd started. I'd told myself it was just corporate politics, that hierarchy meant shared credit. But this was different. This was theft, plain and simple. The supply chain project had been my baby from conception. Last fall, during our quarterly review, I'd identified a disturbing pattern in our operational costs. While our revenue looked strong, we were bleeding money through inefficient logistics and supplier relationships. When I presented these findings, Sandra had seemed dismissive. Costs fluctuate, Garrett. That's manufacturing. But I couldn't let it go. On my own time, I began analyzing patterns in supplier delays, transportation bottlenecks, and inventory management. I created predictive models, surveyed plant managers, and developed a comprehensive optimization system that could identify problems months before they hit our bottom line. I'd presented my findings to Sandra privately first. This could transform our entire operation, I explained, showing her the projected savings. If we implement this strategy, we could reduce operational costs by 15% within 6 months. Her eyes had widened slightly, the only time I'd ever seen her surprised. This is comprehensive, she admitted. Let me think about how we position this to leadership. For months, I refined the strategy, creating implementation guides and training modules. When Sandra suggested I prepare a presentation for the executive team, I'd spent weeks perfecting those 47 slides. I'd believed this would be my moment to shine, maybe even secure the promotion to COO I'd been working toward. Instead, I was home alone, watching my work being celebrated 1,200 miles away with someone else's name attached. The summit began on Monday. I watched it unfold through LinkedIn updates. Photos of handshakes with investors, presentation slides about innovative cost-saving strategies, team dinners with embossed company logos. Sandra posted a photo of herself holding a presentation clicker, caption about sharing game-changing innovations with our board of directors. Tuesday night, scrolling through the summit hashtag, I saw what broke me. A schedule screenshot from Amanda's assistant, Wednesday evening, 7:00 p.m. Excellence in Operations Award, Sandra Walsh, Supply Chain Optimization Implementation. They were giving her an award for my work. I threw my phone across the room and watched it skitter across the hardwood floor. My breathing came in short bursts. For 25 years, I'd given everything to this company. Worked Christmas morning when the warehouse system crashed. Developed pneumonia from stress and still dialed into meetings from my hospital bed. Created processes that increased our efficiency by 22% year over year. And this was my reward. Exclusion, theft, erasure. I picked up my phone, screen cracked but functional. Direct confrontation would label me difficult. Apparently, I already had that reputation. Complaining to HR was pointless, they reported to Howard. Quitting would only hurt me financially, especially with retirement planning to consider. I needed a different approach, something strategic yet decisive, something that would expose the truth while strengthening my position, not weakening it. My military training kicked in. In the Army, we called it leveraging assets. You don't charge the hill head-on when you can outflank the enemy. I opened my laptop and navigated to Patricia Moore's LinkedIn profile. She was head of operations at Bennett Industries, our biggest competitor. We'd served together briefly at Fort Bragg before she went private sector. Patricia had always been straight shooting, no nonsense. I crafted a careful message. Patricia, I've developed something that might interest your team. Available for coffee tomorrow? She responded within an hour. Absolutely. How about that place on 5th Street, away from both our offices? The next morning, sitting across from Patricia in a quiet corner booth, I felt a strange calm. The kind I used to get before difficult missions overseas, focused, clear. I want to be clear, I began. This meeting isn't about sharing proprietary information. It's about my future. I assumed as much, she replied, stirring her coffee. You've always been ethical, Garrett. What's changed? I've created a supply chain optimization strategy that's already showing remarkable results. Initial implementation reduced our operational costs by 15% in 6 months. Her eyebrows rose. That's impressive. We've noticed your company's improvements in that area. Industry reports have been buzzing about efficiency gains. The strategy is mine, every element of it, but it's being presented as my boss's work. In fact, right now, she's in Denver accepting an award for it. Understanding dawned on Patricia's face. And you're exploring options. I know what I'm worth, I said simply, and I know what my work is worth. Patricia studied me carefully. She'd always been able to read people. It's what made her a good officer and an even better executive. What exactly are you proposing? 2 things. First, I want to discuss potential opportunities at Bennett Industries. Second, I have a rather unconventional request about how you might extend that offer. I outlined my plan. The more I talked, the more Patricia's smile grew. By the time our coffee cups were empty, she was leaning back in her chair, impressed. It's audacious, she admitted. But I like audacity backed by 25 years of results. Let me talk to Charles. That afternoon, I received a calendar invitation for a video conference with Patricia and Charles Bennett, their CEO. I knew Charles by reputation, former Navy, built his company from the ground up, respected throughout the industry for straight dealing. The meeting lasted 90 minutes. I presented a high-level version of my strategy, explaining the principles without revealing proprietary details. It was a careful dance, showing enough capability to prove my worth without violating my current company's confidentiality. Charles peppered me with questions about implementation challenges, scalability, and ROI projections. I answered each one with confidence born from months of real-world application and decades of operational experience. "Walk me through a typical supplier negotiation using your framework," he said. I described how I'd restructured our relationship with our primary steel supplier, reducing costs by 8% while improving delivery reliability. Charles nodded, taking notes. "What about resistance from existing teams?" Patricia asked. "Change management is critical," I replied. I developed a phased approach that brings people along rather than imposing solutions from above. Buy-in increases when people understand the why behind the what. By the end, Charles was leaning toward his camera, energized. "We want you, Garrett," he said finally. "Your approach aligns perfectly with our expansion plans. We've been looking for someone with your experience to lead our operational transformation." He paused, then smiled. "Patricia tells me you have specific ideas about the offer delivery." I nodded. "The leadership team is in Denver until Thursday. Tonight at 7:00 p.m., they're holding an awards dinner where my boss will receive recognition for my strategy. I'd like your offer to arrive during that dinner." Charles's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "You're not just looking for a job. You want to make a statement." "I want the truth recognized," I corrected. "And yes, I want leverage for what comes next." After some discussion, they agreed. Charles even suggested enhancements that made the delivery more impactful. "We'll send a courier with a formal offer package," he said. "Executive compensation, full credit for your innovations, and a clear path to expand your methodologies across all our facilities." "What about timing?" Patricia asked. 7:45 p.m., I said, "right in the middle of the recognition ceremony. The courier should ask specifically for Howard Pierce and mention it's regarding the supply chain optimization strategy." Charles chuckled. "Garrett, you've got a devious mind. I respect that." That evening, I sat in my living room watching the clock. I'd prepared for this moment like any military operation. Multiple contingencies, clear objectives, precise timing. At exactly 7:45 p.m., my phone pinged with a notification. Package delivered. I closed my eyes and imagined the scene unfolding 1,200 miles away. The hotel's private dining room, executives in business casual, champagne glasses raised. Sandra at the podium, her moment of glory, crystal trophy gleaming under the lights. 18 minutes later, my phone rang. Justin Reed, his voice shaking like a leaf. "Garrett, what did you do?" "I'm not sure what you mean," I replied calmly. His voice dropped to a whisper. "There's absolute chaos here." A courier interrupted Sandra's acceptance speech with a package for Howard. It was a contract offer from Bennett Industries. For you, for 25% more than you make now, specifically to implement your supply chain strategy. Your strategy, not Sandra's. I remained silent, letting him fill the void. Sometimes the best interrogation technique is just letting people talk. Howard's face went red. Sandra dropped the award. It actually shattered on the floor. Then Charles Bennett's letter explaining how they'd tracked the results of your strategy through industry reports and wanted to discuss expanding it across their entire operation. His voice cracked. Amanda started yelling about confidentiality breaches. Sandra claimed you stole her work. The irony wasn't lost on me. Sandra claiming I stole her work when she'd been stealing mine for months. Howard just kept asking why nobody told him you were the one who created the strategy, Justin continued. Half the room went dead quiet. The other half started whispering. Someone mentioned they always wondered how Sandra had suddenly become so innovative. Interesting, I said. Interesting? Everyone's losing their minds. The board members who were there started asking pointed questions about project attribution and intellectual property protocols. One of them actually said, "Perhaps we should verify who creates our award-winning strategies before we give awards." I almost smiled at that. Board members asking the right questions was exactly what I'd hoped for. "Howard locked himself in his suite with the contract and hasn't come out," Justin added. "Security had to escort Sandra to her room because she was making such a scene in the lobby." "Thanks for letting me know, Justin." "That's it? That's all you have to say? What would you like me to say?" He hesitated. "Are you taking their offer?" "I haven't decided yet." "Garrett, what's your end game here?" I smiled to myself. "Justin, you never accept the first offer. That's poor negotiation strategy." After hanging up, I poured myself 2 fingers of bourbon and sat in my recliner. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. The truth was finally out there. Now came the interesting part. I turned off my phone and slept soundly for the first time in weeks. The next morning brought a flood of texts and emails, colleagues expressing shock, asking questions, taking sides. Melissa Stone from Data Analytics. Garrett, is it true about the supply chain project? I always wondered how Sandra knew so much detail about the algorithms. Brian Hayes from Procurement. Brother, the whole office is buzzing. People are saying you're the real mastermind behind the efficiency improvements. I responded to none of them. Instead, I put on my best suit, navy blue, crisp white shirt, solid red tie, and went to work as usual. Professional to the end. The office felt like a morgue with most leadership still in Denver. Those who remained kept shooting me curious glances, but nobody had the courage to ask direct questions. I spent the day completing routine tasks, organizing files, and preparing transition documents for all my projects. Around noon, I got a call from my daughter, Sarah. Dad, Brian's asking about Grandpa's job situation. He heard something at school about you getting a new job? My grandson. 7 years old and already hearing office gossip through the family network. Tell Brian that Grandpa is exploring opportunities to better recognize his work, I said. Are you okay, Dad? You sound different. I was different. For the first time in years, I felt like I was driving my own career instead of being a passenger. I'm good, sweetheart. Better than I've been in a long time. At 4:30 p.m., I received a text from an unknown number. Flight lands at 8:15. Car picks you up at 9 o'clock. Dinner at 9:30. H.P. Howard had cut his summit short. Game time. I replied simply, I'll be ready. I went home, showered, and put on my best suit again. This wasn't just dinner. This was a negotiation that would determine the next phase of my career. Everything I'd learned in the Army about preparation and tactical thinking was about to pay off. The restaurant Howard chose was the kind where deals get made and careers get decided. Dimly lit, well-spaced tables, servers who knew when to disappear. The West Side Grill, where the city's power brokers came to hash out agreements away from prying eyes. He was already seated when I arrived, nursing what looked like bourbon. His usual confident demeanor was noticeably absent. Good. Garrett, he said, standing briefly as I approached. Howard, I replied, taking my seat across from him. He studied me intently. I've had a very educational 24 hours, I imagine so. You know, in all my years running this company, I've never had a strategy presentation interrupted by a job offer for the person who actually created the strategy. Our server appeared, poured water, took drink orders. After he left, Howard leaned forward. His body language was different, less commanding, more cautious. Let's not waste time. I received quite a dramatic delivery last night. So I heard. You don't deny orchestrating it? I tilted my head slightly. Would denying it change anything at this point? He almost smiled. No. It had your precision all over it. Military timing, maximum impact, perfectly executed. He swirled his bourbon. What I can't decide is whether you're brilliant or reckless. Why can't I be both? This time he did smile, though it didn't reach his eyes. The offer from Bennett Industries is impressive. Charles clearly values your abilities. Apparently he recognizes who actually created the supply chain strategy. Howard flinched slightly. A small victory, but I'd take it. About that. There seems to have been a misattribution, he said carefully. A misattribution, I repeated flatly. Is that what we're calling theft of intellectual property now? That's quite an accusation, Garrett. I reached into my jacket and pulled out the email thread Justin had accidentally forwarded me, printed and highlighted. I slid it across the table. Not an accusation, Howard. A fact. Howard read it, his expression darkening with each line. When he looked up, something fundamental had changed in his demeanor. The corporate politician was gone, replaced by someone who'd just realized he'd made a serious mistake. This doesn't look good, he admitted. No, it doesn't. Not for Sandra, not for Amanda, and certainly not for a CEO who endorsed erasing a 25-year veteran to avoid dealing with someone brilliant but difficult. He winced. I should have verified who created the strategy before approving the award. Yes, you should have. But you didn't. You took Sandra's word because it was convenient and because questioning meant having difficult conversations. Our meals arrived, creating a temporary reprieve. We both pretended to eat, moving food around our plates in the ancient ritual of uncomfortable business dinners. The silence stretched between us, heavy with unspoken implications. Finally, Howard pushed his plate aside. What do you want, Garrett? That's refreshingly direct. I'm a direct person when I have to be. Funny. All this happened because people weren't direct with me. I dabbed my mouth with my napkin, taking my time. I want recognition for my work. I want the Excellence in Operations Award officially transferred to me with company-wide acknowledgement. I want a promotion to Chief Operating Officer reporting directly to you, not Sandra. I want a 30% raise. That's 5% more than Bennett offered. And I want a written guarantee that any future strategies I develop will be credited properly. Howard's eyebrows rose incrementally with each demand. That's substantial. Less substantial than the $2.8 million annually I'll save you while being called difficult behind my back. He nodded slowly. And if I agree to these terms? Then I stay, and you keep my supply chain strategy instead of watching me implement it at your biggest competitor. And if I refuse? I smiled. Then I accept Charles's offer, and you explain to the board why you let a key strategic advantage walk out the door, because acknowledging my contribution was too inconvenient. Howard studied me for a long moment. You've placed me in quite a bind. No, Howard. You placed yourself in this bind when you allowed my work to be stolen and my contributions erased. He took a long sip of bourbon, clearly weighing his options. I've never seen this side of you, Garrett. That's because you've never truly seen me at all. You saw what was convenient. A workhorse who wouldn't complain when pushed aside, who would quietly accept being left behind while others celebrated his achievements. I leaned forward. But I'm done being invisible. He signaled for the check. I need to make some calls. Of course, take your time. I stood. You have until 9:00 a.m. tomorrow to decide. After that, I notify Charles of my acceptance. As I walked toward the door, Howard called after me. Garrett, for what it's worth, I've always respected your work. I just didn't realize how much of it was actually yours. I turned back. That's the problem, isn't it, Howard? You should have known. The night passed in strange calm. I'd made my play. Now I waited. I spent the evening reviewing my transition documents one final time, preparing for either outcome. My phone rang at 8:45 a.m. I've talked with the board, Howard said without preamble. We're prepared to meet your terms. All of them. The promotion? COO, effective immediately. You'll oversee all operational departments. The award will be corrected today. I'll announce it at this morning's all-hands meeting. And Sandra? That's being handled internally. She'll no longer be in operations. We're moving her to a consulting role in business development. What about my team? Justin, Melissa, Brian? They'll all report to you now. Fresh start, clean slate. I hung up and smiled. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's simply getting what you earned in the first place. 3 months later, our operational efficiency hit record levels. I'd implemented the full supply chain strategy across all our facilities, expanding beyond my original projections. The 15% cost reduction became 18% as we refined the processes. 6 months later, we'd expanded into 2 new markets, leveraging our improved efficiency to undercut competitors' pricing while maintaining margins. My strategy had become the foundation for company-wide growth. Within a year, I was promoted to Executive Vice President of Operations, with a seat on the executive committee. The respect I'd always earned but never received was finally official. Sandra found work at a smaller firm in a reduced capacity. Amanda took early retirement after the board questioned her judgment regarding personnel decisions. Howard? He learned to ask better questions about who actually does the work around here. But the real victory came 6 months after the Denver incident. I was presenting our quarterly results to the board when one of the directors asked, Garrett, walk us through your next innovation. What's the next big efficiency gain? My next innovation, my name attached to my work. Recognition where recognition was due. As for me, I finally got something I'd been missing for 25 years, proper recognition for proper work. Turns out that's all I ever wanted. Sometimes at night I think about that moment in the restaurant when Howard realized what was happening. Not with anger anymore, but with clarity. They taught me the most valuable lesson of my career. Your work matters. Your recognition matters. And sometimes the only way to claim your worth is to walk toward those who actually see it. If you've stayed with me through this story, I hope it reminds you to value your own contributions. Everyone deserves credit for their work. The best revenge isn't revenge. It's walking towards something better, or in my case, making them come to you. In the end, The most powerful weapon isn't revenge, it's making yourself so valuable that they have to come to you on your terms. 25 years taught me that loyalty without recognition is just exploitation wearing a company polo shirt.